Hey everybody, Let 'em Taters here, and this is war number 2 of Season 6. This is up against WTF. I am taking Path 5 again, and you see there it is a 565 Killmonger on node 29. So in this war, I'm going to be bringing along Morningstar for the magic synergy. And once we get to that fight, I will actually show you what that synergy is, and if I have time, I will talk about why it's so important. So these first 3 fights, I'm going to be using Blade. I scouted, and I anticipate a 565 Korg on node 23. This first one is a 345 skill champ, and you notice that I'm not going to use a boost. I could have used skill boosts if I had them, which I don't in this war. I also could have used an attack boost, but I didn't want to use a health boost or a champ boost, which of course boosts your health and attack. Because I knew that I would be taking some damage in this fight, and I wanted to heal up. And if you boost your health, then those potions are going to not heal you up as much, because they're a fixed number of health points as opposed to a percentage. So that is why I didn't use any boosts here. It's a 345 Agent Venom, not really an issue. What I do need to be careful of is I don't want to parry him and attack him while I think that he's stunned. And then also, you guys will actually see a mistake here. If I do bait and dodge a special, I really need to be more careful and not try to attack into him. I do not follow that advice here. I try to punish his L2, and I get parried, and that costs me a combo. So not really an issue, except it's just a little careless, and of course it cost me some potions that really I just didn't need to use there. So here I'm going to throw on one big health potion, and now I'm going to throw on some boosts. Now this node is Power Reserve, Unblockable 1, and it is Heal Block. So I'm not going to be able to heal with Blade. I didn't throw on a health boost again there because same reason I know that I'm going to be healing after this fight. I did throw on a champ boost though because I anticipate that this is a 565 magic, and I think that that extra attack will help. But of course I'm also boosting my health there, so that's going to cost me a little bit more for the potions, but not really a huge deal. What I want to do here to start this fight is just parry bleed her as much as possible. Now every time she hits into me, because it is also kinetic reactor on this node, she's going to gain a little bit of power. And you saw that if you guys were watching her power meter, she doesn't gain power from every time that she hits into my block, and that is because of Danger Sense. Now because it's Power Reserve, both the attacker and the defender share that buff on this node. So I throw my L3, and I'm going to be at 1.5 bars of power when I come out of this. So I could have finished the fight there if I wanted to, but I decided to be cautious, and just in case for some reason, like I didn't happen to kill her with my L2, I let her throw her special, and then I threw my L2 to finish the fight. Okay, so I'm going to heal back up. I'm going to be using Blade in this fight. I believe that it's a 565 Korg. You see here I do not have Scatterlands active. But that is going to change. I am going to go into my masteries, reset it, and I've got some peepers here that are peeping me since I'm the last to clear. And I do still have those boosts running, of course. And you guys see here I have activated Scatterlands. It's a 565. And also I have removed Dexterity. And I'll talk a little bit about why here in just a second. But this has Masochism, Energy Resistance. Some people in my alliance prefer to take this fight with Magic, but I think that Blade is safer. Want to do the same thing against Korg as I normally do against Killmonger. Start the fight by backing up, and then without Dexterity, what you can do is you can evade his charging medium, and you can punish with a light, exactly like we do with Killmonger. The only difference here is in order to do this, you need to either be really, really good at shallow evading, so evading it without proccing Dexterity, or you need to just remove Dexterity. Otherwise, he'll go unblockable when you buff. So every light attack into Korg, he's going to lose a rock armor, and then you just want to get that shattered so that you can attack into him, and then he's pretty much free to do whatever. Now, when he does throw a heavy, as I was trying to illustrate there, you only want to back up one time. If you try to back up twice and then charge into him, most of the time he's going to parry you. He doesn't have huge attack, but you just don't want to be gifting him damage. So I like Blade in this fight because it's strictly raw damage. This is a masochism node, of course, but you don't have to worry about Blade's bleed proccing masochism because, of course, Korg is bleed immune. And then the other thing that you guys notice, after every combo, I am immediately going to my block. The reason is, of course, I don't want to proc masochism by parrying him. So this is just pretty much strictly a raw damage fight, and I would like to push him to his L2 as much as possible, and then just evade that first part, and then I'm just going to take this block damage since Blade can heal. Not really a big deal. I back off so that I can start into my light countering of his charging medium again until that rock shield is shattered, and then I can just do whatever I want with him. And that's kind of it. Another thing against Korg, you really do not want to hit into his block. When you hit into his block, he gets crowd excitement, and if he gets enough crowd excitement, all of his attacks will go unblockable. So this is just the very, very safe way to fight Korg. And again, kind of like I talked about in my last video when I mentioned having that skill where you can evade their charging medium and punish with a light attack. That comes into play with a lot of the top defenders. So Korg is the other really big one. But you can also do that with Ultron, Hulk. You can do that with Medusa as well. I believe Legacy posted a video using Wasp against a Medusa in last month's Uncollected using that strategy. So it's a great skill to have, especially on masochism nodes, so that you do not need to constantly parry. But this is taking a while, but I'm really at no danger here of timing out. I do have 5 out of 5 in Assassin, so this next 15% is just, obviously you saw that that came down pretty quickly. So it was a little bit longer fight. Another thing that would help in the future make this fight not quite as long is if I had skill boost, which I was completely out of in this war. So but here we have Killmonger on node 29. Last war, I kind of showed you guys how I like to fight him. I'm not going to break down this fight quite as much this war, simply because I already did it for last war. However, last war was against a 455 Killmonger, and this war obviously is against a 565. So here you see all the same boosts that I like to use. I thought about throwing on a greater health boost, but I chose not to just because I've only got 5 of them left, and they're expensive. So here we got a 565 Killmonger, and the Morningstar synergy is really critical. So it is going to give you heightened crit damage and crit rate during Magic's Limbo, and when you're using a 200% power return boost, you are going to be in Limbo quite a lot in this fight. So again, I want to start off the fight by backing up, and then let him attack into me, punish with a light. And then I'm just going to repeat this process as you guys saw in my last video. I like to bait that L2 to start. And then I'm going to hold on to this L2 until he's got a little bit more power so that I can steal more power. And I'm almost at an L2 already. I just need to make sure that I get in my second L2 within that masochism window, which is 7 seconds. And that is pretty much rinse and repeat. That's all this fight is. This fight is difficult if you're not sure how to do it, and once you get practice with the light punish of a charging medium, once you have that down, it really becomes muscle memory, and you can do this against any of the champs that leave that opening. The danger in this fight, of course, is simply that his damage is going to ramp up every time he makes another bar of power. So if you do screw up, if you're really not in rhythm, if you screw up in this fight, everything scales with Aspect of Evolution. So if he hits you, his damage is going to scale, his crit damage is going to scale, and if he causes a bleed on you, then that bleed is going to be scaled also. So you just really need to be careful in this fight. But here with the Morningstar synergy and with max boost, We get him down in 102 hits. And I believe in this war for my masters, I had a 3 out of 3 recoil. And I had 9 out of 9 greater attack. So I really like to scale up my attack for that fight. But that is it for this war. Now, war number 3 of the season, that was against Korg. And here I am in war number 3. So the battle group has cleared entirely. Normally I would take path 5. However, in this war, we had a 565 domino on node 29. And so my boy Panman Pete, who is the best ghost player on the planet, he cleared that shit pretty easily and gave me a nice little off war here. So if you guys want to see video of Wasp soloing dominoes on node 29, check out Panman Pete's channel, and also check out Nick F's channel. That would be Forever and Above. He is a beast with Ghost 2. But anyway, that is all, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy this black screen, and should be posting war number 4 here within the next few days. Thanks a bunch.